our servers using NVMe is for multiple things. We're using NVMe stuff to boot up operating systems, and we're also using NVMe to save files onto our platforms, and then just parse that data in for databases or anything of that sort. We're not using NVMe as a quote-unquote RAM module, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So
because NVMe devices are a lot more expensive than RAM modules, right? So we don't use any of that. We use the premium ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me.
Let's see. You've already talked about that. Yeah, and so I'm assuming by what you just described, well, actually the second application, maybe not so much. The way you're using NVMe today, is it connected to a SATA or a PCIe, or is it just on the, sorry.
So if my personal take is, if I'm using NVMe on a SATA backplane, you're just wasting money. It's pointless, it's stupid, and you're just an idiot for doing something like that in the first place. So your NVMe is always back on a PCI Express slot.
Yeah.
Right, and that's how my infrastructure is right now, and I will, go to quote unquote, I will, just argue back and forth constantly if someone tells me like, no, we need to have this NVMe stuff on a SATA backplane. It's just stupid. It's asinine, and it's just going backwards 10,000 years, right? For lack of a better word.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We've already talked. Any other ways that you are using in-memory databases that we didn't already discuss?
So one thing that we did not talk about or is not there is the hyperconverged infrastructure piece.
Yeah. Okay.
So I am also using hyperconverged infrastructure on when I was with TechGo, and a lot of the distribution centers were running on hyperconverged infrastructure, and a lot of the stuff necessary for hyperconverged infrastructure to run is loaded on the memory, as in RAM modules as well as on local storage too. So that's where the NVMe devices come into play. That's also where the memory modules come into play. We didn't really touch base on any of the hyperconverged infrastructure stuff there.
Yeah, NVMe is more relevant in that, if you will, in that hyperconverged application or architecture. Yep. All right. And you were using those at Petco. Overall, I mean, in your current environment or some future environment, would you go the hyperconverged route again?
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
Yeah. Okay.
Without even thinking twice about it, actually. I can tell you so SHI, I am now a reseller selling some of these technologies because I just got tired of the 5 a.m. calls of support questions, right? So now when I have conversations with my customers about the server storage refresh, I just tell them ditch the traditional storage methodologies and just adopt a hyperconverged infrastructure. And I have sold a couple of hyperconverged infrastructures already in the past couple of months working with SHI and, as a POC, and then actually they've bought several nodes of vSAN or Nutanix or anything of that sort in their environment. Right? Because that's a lot less data center complexity and a lot easier to scale up if need be.
Yeah. All right. Good.
And a lot less bottleneck.
There's some movement by software vendors who push for things to be more and more in memory and cutting support for not in memory databases. Have you experienced that?
I've seen manufacturers push more and more applications run in memory, not so much cut support. I'm not familiar with the latter part.
Not cutting the support for their more traditional style. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I've seen the applications being pushed more into memory, and the support cost is still the same.
Okay. All right. Good.
But they will tell you. But from a performance perspective, they will always give you the best architecture to be sitting the same on memory versus not.
Yeah. Okay. If you did see that, if you had a software vendor for enterprise application that was starting to cut support for versions that were not in memory, would that significantly impact your